Why does my cat stare at me while sleeping? If you've ever opened your eyes in the middle of the night and seen your cat quietly sitting there, just watching you, you probably felt that strange mix of curiosity and confusion. You might laugh about it, or even joke that your cat is being creepy. But what most owners don't realize is that this behavior actually has a meaning. And once you understand it, it can completely change the way you see your cat. Cats almost never do things without a reason. Their behavior might look mysterious from the outside, but inside their world, there is usually a very clear logic behind what they do. When a cat sits and watches you while you sleep, something important is happening from their point of view. Think about what your cat experiences when you fall asleep. During the day you move, talk, interact, and react to the environment. Your cat is used to seeing you as an active part of their territory. When you go to sleep, everything changes. The most important creature in your cat's environment suddenly becomes completely still. Your voice disappears. Your movements stop. Your breathing becomes slow and rhythmic. To a cat's brain, that change is unusual. Cats are naturally observant animals. In the wild, survival depends on constantly scanning the environment for movement, sound, and potential threats. Even inside a home, that instinct never disappears. So when you suddenly become motionless for hours, your cat may start monitoring you more closely. That's one reason they watch you while you sleep. They are simply checking what is happening. But here's the part that surprises most people. Many times this behavior is actually connected to trust. Cats are very careful about where and when they relax. They prefer to stay close to places and individuals that make them feel safe. When a cat sits quietly near you while you sleep, it often means they see you as a stable and secure part of their environment. From their perspective, being near you while you are resting feels safe. In other words, that silent stare might not be strange at all. It might actually be a sign that your cat feels comfortable sharing vulnerable moments in the same space as you. However, that's not the only possible reason. Cats are also extremely good at learning patterns. If you usually wake up around the same time every morning, your cat begins predicting that moment. They notice the small signals that come right before you wake up, changes in breathing, slight body movement, or the moment you shift position in bed. So sometimes when your cat watches you sleep, they are not just observing you. They are waiting. Waiting for the moment you wake up. Waiting for breakfast. Waiting for attention. Waiting for the routine they have learned happens every morning. But there is another detail many owners overlook. Eye contact in cats is a powerful form of communication. When a cat watches you calmly, without tension in their body, it can mean curiosity, attention, or quiet social connection. Cats don't always interact the way humans expect. They often communicate through subtle presence rather than obvious actions. Sitting near you and observing you can be their way of staying connected without interrupting your rest. The problem is that most owners never learn how to read these signals. They see the behavior, but they don't understand the message behind it. And cats send dozens of these small signals every day through their posture, their eyes, their tail movements, and their habits. Once you begin recognizing those patterns, your cat's behavior stops feeling random. You start realizing that your cat has been communicating with you all along. For example, the way your cat blinks slowly when looking at you, the way they position their body when sitting nearby, or the way their tail moves when they approach you, can all reveal how they feel in that moment. Trust, curiosity, comfort, anticipation. These signals are always there. But most people simply never learn how to interpret them. And that's why many cat owners feel like their cat is mysterious or unpredictable, when in reality the communication is happening constantly. It's just happening in a language that most people were never taught to understand. When you start learning that language, something interesting happens. Your relationship with your cat begins to change. You notice things you've never noticed before. You understand their reactions faster. And your cat often becomes more responsive because you are finally responding to their signals in the right way. If you want to truly understand what your cat's body language, eye contact, and everyday behaviors are telling you, including the hidden signals that show trust, stress, affection, or hidden needs, there is a complete guide that explains feline communication in a clear and practical way. Click the link in the description and discover how to understand what your cat is really trying to tell you every single day. Because once you understand the real meaning behind behaviors like staring at you while you sleep, You realize your cat has been communicating with you the entire time.